In basketball, got some new draft announcements. Kendall Brown's going pro. James Akinjo's going pro. And Flo Thamba is returning for another year of eligibility at Baylor. We still have yet to hear anything about Jeremy Sohan, so we await that still. But also Matthew Meyer, still don't know what he's going to do for sure. I had been for months now just anticipating he would go pro, but there's this little, maybe he sticks around, who knows, but I'm still not going to count on that. It'll just be a nice surprise if he were to do that, but I'm not getting my hopes up there, and not surprised by Kendall Brown leaving. Akinjo, I guess not really in the end, and Thamba coming back makes sense to me. Those were kind of my first initial reactions. What about you?
Yeah, the Akinjo one, I think there was a lot of hope that he might return. But truthfully, for the health of the roster, it's probably good that he does move on. I think it allows LJ Cryer to get into a starting role. It allows Adam Flagler to run point guard for this Baylor team next year, which I think he's going to need to do if he wants to end up being an NBA guy. He's got to be able to run the point at least some, be more of a combo guard than he has been recently at Baylor, kind of like he did at the end of the year. He is playing more of a combo guard when Akinjo wasn't running the point. So I think that could be big for them. And to have Adam Flagler, LJ Cryer, and then Keontae George, on the court at the same time, that's going to be a really, really tough group to stop. So good for Akinjo. I think he will probably get drafted in the second round, probably going to be a G League guy. I'm not sure that he's going to be able to make it in the pros. That three-point shot, I think it's going to hold him back, and his size a little bit. But I think he's going to make plenty of money, whether it's overseas or in the G League. So I don't mind that move at all. Kendall Brown, foregone conclusion. Dude's an NBA guy. He's a first-round pick, probably going to be a top 20 pick, maybe even a lottery pick. When people understand that he is still 18 years old, which is just shocking. The guy could have been a freshman this year, and it wouldn't have been surprising. So, that's just crazy to think about, that he really was a high school senior this year playing at Baylor. And now you just kind of wait. Jeremy Sohan, Matthew Meyer, they're trying to make decisions. I know Jalen Bridges is going to visit Baylor. Bridges is a West Virginia transfer. He's in the portal from there. Another big wing. Clearly, Baylor wants to address that, especially since they don't know what's going to happen with Sohan and Meyer. Where I'm at right now, I think Jeremy's probably going to go to the draft. I think there's too much hype for him. I think he's going to be a lottery pick. Just fits the league so perfectly as a developmental guy. I think he's going to be great. Meyer, I'm not really sure, because his decision is really going to be very similar to what I think Flo Thamba's decision was, do you leave and go make money overseas, or do you stay and try to boost your draft stock to the point where you get drafted? Because right now, he's not a first round pick. I don't even know that he'd get drafted after the season he just put up. So it wouldn't shock me if he came back. So I'm on the fence about him, just like you are, I think.
Yeah, he improved defensively, I think you could say that, but offensively
took a step back.
Yeah, and I feel kind of like we're maybe trying to paint him into something that he's actually not, and trying to force a square peg into a round hole. And he just needs to be him, and maybe just go into next year with no expectations and just become who he's supposed to become, rather than last year maybe at times feeling pressure to be the guy, or whatever the case may have been. Because he did gain some, but he also kind of took a step back in some areas as well. But
yeah. I think you mentioned the defensive side. I think it took a lot out of his offensive game, and it really took a lot out of his jump shot. So I think that could be huge for him, right? Come back, get that part figured out, and have a big year, which everyone knows he has the potential to have. We've seen it. We've seen him get hot. It just needs to be more consistent.
Yeah, agreed. So basketball, no more Kendall Brown, although now he'll go off and represent Baylor in the pros. We await Sohan. And good luck to James Akinjo on his journey as well.